Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. You've brought us some really interesting source material today, looking at a major move happening in the tech world.
That's right. We're digging into the reported acquisition of Informatica by Salesforce. It's a pretty massive deal, and it seems to signal some big shifts, especially around enterprise data and AI.
Absolutely. The numbers involved are huge. We're talking around $8 billion reportedly.
Right.
So yeah, our mission here is to go through these sources you shared, understand the nuts and bolts of this deal, why it's happening now, and what it might mean for the future, particularly with AI.
Exactly. And the material frames this not just as, another big tech purchase. It's Salesforce's largest since they bought Slack, back in 2021?
Yeah, the Slack deal, that was enormous.
Right. So that scale alone, according to these sources, suggests there's a pretty significant strategic rethink happening over at Salesforce.
Got it. So let's start with the basics then, the big picture.
Mhm.
What actually happened here? What are the core facts laid out in the sources?
Okay, so the headline is, Salesforce is set to acquire Informatica. And Informatica, they're known for enterprise cloud data management. Think about managing all that complex data across big companies.
That's their area.
That's their specialty, yeah.
And like you said, the price tag is substantial, around $8 billion, which definitely makes it their biggest move since that, $28 billion Slack purchase.
Yeah, a huge investment compared to recent years. And the timeline mentioned in the sources suggests the deal is expected to close early in Salesforce's fiscal year 2027.
Which starts February 2027.
Okay, right. And the structure looks like a mix of cash and new debt to fund it.
Okay, so that covers the what. Now, this is where, for me, it gets really interesting. The why. Why this company? Why now? The source material seems pretty clear that AI is the big driver.
Oh, absolutely. That's the central theme hammered home in the material. The goal they state is, frankly, ambitious. They want to create, and I'm quoting here from the source, the most complete agent-ready data platform in the industry.
Agent-ready data platform. Okay, that phrase immediately jumps out.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's directly tied to this explosion we're seeing in AI, especially AI agents that can actually do things.
Precisely. The sources place this acquisition within the bigger picture of the enterprise data market, which is massive, like $150 billion plus. But the aim seems crystal clear. It's explicitly about boosting Salesforce's capabilities in what they're calling agentic AI.
Agentic AI.
Yeah, enabling more autonomous agents.
Okay, let's just pause there. What exactly is agentic AI in this context, and how does buying Informatica, a data management company, actually help Salesforce build these agents?
Good question. So agentic AI, think of it as AI that goes beyond just, answering questions or writing text. It's AI that can actually act.
Take actions, make decisions.
Exactly. Perform tasks, manage workflows, maybe with less direct human input. But, and this is the key part, for an AI agent to work effectively and safely inside a company, it needs rock-solid data. High-quality, trustworthy, connected data.
Right, the old garbage in, garbage out problem, but amplified when the AI is actually doing things autonomously.
Totally. The stakes are much higher. And that's where Informatica fits in, according to the sources. It's about integrating Informatica's core strengths, things like data integration, which is connecting data from all sorts of different systems.
Okay.
Data quality, making sure it's clean and accurate, data governance, setting rules for how data gets used, and unified metadata, creating a common understanding of what the data actually is.
So bringing all that capability into the Salesforce world.
Right. Plugging it into their existing tech, like Data Cloud, MuleSoft for integration, Tableau for the visualization and analytics piece.
So it's not just about having access to data. It's about making sure that data is actually reliable and governed enough for these sophisticated AI tasks.
That's absolutely crucial. And the sources specifically call out Informatica's Master Data Management, MDM. Think of MDM as creating that definitive single source of truth for key things, like customers.
Oh, the golden record idea.
Exactly. Pulling together all the scattered info about a customer contacts, history, preferences, everything, cleaning it up, and making one reliable profile.
So instead of an AI agent getting confused by 5 different versions of Jane Doe, it sees one complete, accurate picture.
That's the idea. The material states this MDM piece will directly enrich Salesforce's Agentforce platform. That's their framework for building these AI agents. It provides that foundational layer of high-quality, unified customer data that's essential for AI to handle sales or service tasks effectively and, importantly, compliantly.
Makes total sense. You can't have an AI personalizing an offer if it's looking at fragmented or wrong data, or worse, violating some privacy rule.
Absolutely. The trust factor is huge. You need that governance baked in from the start at the data level.
Now, the sources also mention this being a significant strategic shift for Salesforce itself. What's the background there?
Yeah, what the material highlights is this signals a pivot, a move back towards making big strategic investments in their core platform and in AI-driven growth.
After a period of focusing more on profits.
Exactly. They'd been under pressure, reportedly from activist investors, to boost margins. So there was this focus on efficiency.
And now they're changing course, going big on acquisition again.
That's how the sources are interpreting it. And the reason for this shift. It's described as a direct reaction to the, quote, explosion of generative AI.
Okay.
There's this realization, it seems, that you need incredibly robust cloud-native data management, the kind Informatica does, to really unlock the potential of these new AI applications. It's become critical.
It's like they saw the AI wave coming and realized their existing data foundations needed, well, significant reinforcement to ride it properly.
You could put it that way. AI is powerful, but it needs that solid data footing.
How did the market react initially? Did the sources mention that?
Yeah, the immediate reaction described was positive. Informatica's stock jumped 5.8%, and Salesforce saw a bump too, about 1.78%.
Interesting.
And the deal itself, the sources note the $25 per share offer was about a 30% premium over Informatica's price just before the news really broke.
Okay, so at least initially the market seemed to buy the strategic logic. So looking forward now, what do the sources suggest about how this changes Salesforce's competitive position and their plans for innovation?
The expectation laid out is that this move will significantly strengthen Salesforce against their major rivals. Think Microsoft, Amazon, the other big players in cloud and AI.
How so? By offering what exactly?
By offering a more genuinely unified platform, an AI-ready data platform that's comprehensive, end-to-end, and scalable for large enterprises. The idea is to give customers a more complete solution for managing data and using it effectively for AI.
And does having this more unified architecture help them build new AI features faster?
That's definitely the suggestion in the material. This integrated foundation should, in theory, let Salesforce innovate more rapidly in AI and data. It gives them the plumbing, if you like, to build and roll out those more advanced autonomous agents and smarter customer experiences they're aiming for.
Right, which presumably they hope will attract more big companies looking for these kinds of advanced capabilities,
Yeah.
driving growth long term.
That's the projected outcome, yes. And financially, while it's obviously a huge investment up front, the sources do mention an expectation that it will start adding to operating margins from the second year after the deal closes.
So if we try and pull this all together, what's the main takeaway you get from the sources about this Salesforce Informatica deal?
Well, what really stands out is that this feels less like just buying revenue and more like a very calculated multi-billion-dollar bet on a specific future. A future where AI isn't just a feature, it's deeply woven into how businesses operate.
And where the success of that AI?
Depends entirely on the quality and structure of the data underneath it. It hinges on having that high-quality, unified data management as the bedrock. It's a huge bet on the importance of the data layer for the AI era.
It really underscores that the race for AI dominance in the enterprise isn't just about having the smartest algorithms, right? It's also about who provides the most reliable, trustworthy data infrastructure to actually make those algorithms useful and safe.
Exactly. It's about strengthening their market position, sure,
Yeah.
but also enabling faster innovation and delivering those smarter customer experiences, all built on better data.
So data quality, data governance. These aren't just IT concerns anymore. They're becoming central strategic issues for anyone serious about AI.
That seems to be the message Salesforce is sending with this move.
Okay, so let's leave our listeners with this final thought, drawing straight from the source material. It really highlights this fundamental need for high-quality, unified customer data to make AI work in areas like sales and service. Now, if the real foundation for useful, scalable, and safe AI is actually this complex data plumbing, the quality, the governance, the integration, as this massive acquisition by Salesforce strongly suggests, what does that tell you, the listener, about the often hidden challenges and sheer complexity involved in building out the AI future we hear so much about? Maybe the hardest part isn't the AI model itself, but getting the data right first.
Definitely something to think about for any organization looking at AI.
Indeed. Thanks for walking us through that today. A really fascinating deep dive.